Hi, it's David here with Future Trading. I want to give you your update on your Roku, your Aussie, and your Pound. Now, if you haven't had a chance to, you can come over to the channel. I made actually a couple of videos since the last time I've been on TikTok here. And for those that's on YouTube, you're already aware of this information, but I wasn't able to upload a video on TikTok because they wasn't allowing me to. And then, of course, I made this one last night. Well, this early this morning, I was up at like early in the morning. So I made this one, my live account, taking out that whole downtrend and knock out that uptrend. All right. So a little bit over 30 minutes here. I do apologize for that, but I definitely wanted you to see me ride that move all the way down. And so I left some information in there for you. Again, no audio, so I did text to kind of just walk you through what was happening. And then I made a psychology video for you this morning. So if you're having, I guess, an emotional difficulty or even mentally, isn't so apt to do this as a job or a career, I want to make sure that you have the mental fortitude to get that done. So I put that there this morning as well. So you can definitely check that out. Now, if you want to get caught up on everything that I said, I believe. All right, now I'll try to cover all of it. I'm gonna try my best to cover all of it, but it was in this video. That was just 3 days ago. And I'll touch on what happened with this one for you too. I'll just include this one in this at the end. So all right, so Roku. There's the trend. Here's that no close bar here. So you can look up here in the upper left corner here. Look at that high, the H. All right, so the high here, 77.88. The close here is 70. I'm sorry. Yes, the close here, 77.87. So one tick beneath that high. That's the no close bar. And clearly you can see this mid is not touching. I'm sorry, the mid is not touching this bar's low. This bar's mid isn't touching that bar's low. So no close level here. That's the rotation zone. I was here, of course, back on the 16th, and price was here. So they managed to again just push a little bit more, but there is a trend here, and usually they'll go to trend distance, but we haven't gotten there yet. So I may have to come back and cover this again. All right. So now let's take a look at your Aussie. All right, so here's the Aussie. Price was here on the green bar here. They had six. I told you that this is a no close bar. I think it was on this one. I said I believe they might clip that, but that's the no close bar. And as you can tell, several references here, and we haven't been able to get it done. This is why I don't trade what's to the left. I told you I'm a hard right edge trader. Once you set the trend, I trade that trend. That's what I do, and I've been doing it for years. I'm self taught, okay? And so here's your trend. They've made the trend distance, and I did tell you about the chart scale. Remember, I went over that, possible trend distance. I told you the chart scale about here. If they're going to turn around, they should rotate up right in about that area. All right. So they got there and they tried to rotate up, but it don't look like that's going to hold. All right. So now let's look at the pound USD. Now, this one was a very interesting one because I told you, and again, we were on that red bar. Okay. We were on the red bar here. And I told you I expect new highs, but there's the trend distance. And I just gave you a couple of reference points. And I even told you really don't want them down here. And again, I did state to you, you don't want them really to pass this information here. Hopefully they can get here and just turn back up and go, straight back through the highs. There's something up here that I can't tell you what it is, but there's something up here that I believe that is a problem, but they managed to go down. Oh, let's do the middle of the chart. Let's do the middle of the chart here. All right, so if you would have just thrown the line right at the middle of the chart, and it's roughly right here, give or take. So right about that area, they didn't rotate. They actually bust through it and start using it for resistance. Okay, so this one wouldn't have worked that way. But if you're, again, you're watching it as it comes down because it's dynamic too. It is, and you still would have got just a little base there, and then of course, like I said, it would have rotated, played the backside, and drop. All right, so, but that's the trend. So once they put that bar lower here, you have your trend, and there's the no close here. Okay, so no close on this bar, no close, and then they gave you the drop, but then they wanted to jump back up here. You had the no close on this bar here. Okay, so the high of this bar 233. Okay, so let's see what the close is. Did they take that out? Close 242. So yeah, they went above here, but then you had a no close on this one as well, and clearly they didn't take that one out either. So there's your trend down. So once they set the trend, and again, I made a playlist. Let me put this in front of you one more time. This is why I don't trade other people's stuff and I don't cover other people's information because I understand the market based on trend. That's all I do, and that's all I've been trading for years, and I do okay. All right, so I'm trying to give it away for free and within minutes. I do not want you guys sitting here. I tried to give it to you in less than 8 minutes how to look at a trend. you don't see a lot of people online willing to cover a trend without using a bunch of moving averages. All right. So I'm not going to do that to you. That's abusive to give you something else to factor in when you're already having a hard time trying to trade the candlesticks. Sound like a bad mix there. Now, I am going to give you your Apple because I had covered Apple some time ago. Price was over here, and I told you that they was setting that scenario up here. And I even told you when they came down into this information off to this left here, you had a lot of no closes. Here. Well, the bars. I'm sorry, the bar's mid is above this bar's high. Okay, bar's mid is above this bar's high, and you didn't get the consecutive closes beneath these pivots, and so there's your flip. All right, so and this was one big green candle. This bar's high here isn't touching the mid of this gap, so that would be the no close hard stop there. And then, of course, there's your push to the upside. So you can count the trend here, and you'll see that it made the trend distance. Now, the let's just go here. All right, so this is your GC. All right, now in the last video, we were here. All right, we were here, and I told you that they should go up again. All right, now there's all the cyclical back and forth, and I'll show you the hourly. All right, and the information that was there. All right, all in 10 minutes here. I don't want to hold you long because TikTok, they don't let me have videos that's more than 10 minutes. So we were right here, and I told you, hey, they might do something like this. Okay, something to that nature to make that distance. All right. So you're always going for the trend distance. That's what you're going for. All right. So this information right here pairs with this. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Do forgive me. Hold on. It pairs with this information here. So you're always looking for the trend distance. It could have happened there or there. Either one of these lifts where they tried to lift, you just go ahead and measure it. It's still, even with this here, it was going to make it back through that high. One, okay, they all have to be lower. One, two, three, four, five. And then you had six, and you never got that seven. Okay. So one, two, three, four, five. Okay, and then you had six. Okay, so you had six lower. So yes, it's seven in total. My apologies about that. But again, remember we had this downtrend here and it turned around and went back up. So that may be the behavior. I told you that they could possibly go up again and make that trend distance. And I meant that. So yeah, they were able to get that seven down, but keep in mind you definitely have a no close here, and there's the hard stop level. So you again gauge all things appropriately. That's all. So you can see the buyers we're having a hard time. You got no close levels up here, and they struggle with that information. But equally as so, they struggle with this too. So and then on each pivot, that's another thing I'll stress to you: consecutive closes, and that's in the primarily with each candle and pivots. I try to give y'all as much information as I possibly can for free. All right, and really, but in this trading guide playlist, I'll definitely show it to you. Here we go. Consecutive closes. All right, consecutive close method. All right, so when it comes to pivots or per bar, that's the other part. So per bar, here's a bar. See if you can get two closes immediately under that low or the high, whichever one you want to go. And so you'll get all of that cyclical back and forth. So sometimes even when they set the trend and they're fighting you, apply the consecutive close method. You'll be amazed at what will happen in the midst of them trying to set a trend on you. All right. So look at how they punched that low, no closed bar. Okay. Punch the low, no closed bar. Punch the low, no closed bar. They're not closing under the no closed bar. So when I tell you that I teach you universal concepts, I mean just that. All right. So I wish you all the best with your trade method, and here's the universal trend. All right. So I wish you all the best with your trading. Take care.